Y'all, I lost my food stamp card.
Arizona had 400,000 people cut off the SNAP benefit.
They cut my food stamp down to $24.
This is my impression of a Trump voter.
Y'all, they just took my food stamps. Work 2 jobs and I can't eat.
Going to the liquor store, buying liquor, selling your food stamps.
What ethnicity receives the most SNAP benefits?
Millions of Americans are relying on food assistance to make ends meet. But what happens when all those benefits are being reduced and the higher cost of grocery remain the same? The answer will affect millions of families across the country. And we need to talk about the food stamp because the reason why they're cutting too, there are a lot of problems going. Food stamp fraud, people are not using their food stamp how they're supposed to use it. People who really need it are not even going to get it. Like I myself, I don't make a lot of money, but I'm qualified for food stamp, but I don't really need it at some point. But at some point, if I was like those guys who just want to take the food stamp, sell it, scam the government or do whatever, scam the taxpayer, it's not fair at the end of the day. That's why we got to do good, y'all. We got to do good. Yeah? And that's why the government is just coming out all those things and people now are feeling it. And a lot of families, they're going to affect it. Let's check out this video.
So if I get a job, I can get food stamps. But if I don't get a job, they cut my food stamps. But if I get a job, they're going to cut my food stamps anyway. How does that work?
Let me get this straight. Arizona had 400,000 people cut off the SNAP benefit, the food SNAP benefit. 400,000 people. They're going to say that there's fraud and go get a job or whatever else. But I want to remind you people that actually voted for this with the big, beautiful bill. And our military families, a lot of them are on food stamps. Them are disabled people, veterans. What are we doing here? What are we doing, people? Y'all voted this big, beautiful bill and then cut off all these people on their SNAP benefits. So, for instance, so now my question is, now that we got this shit show going on over in the Middle East, what are we going to do about these people who are solely dependent on SNAP benefits to buy their food?
Girl, let me tell you what is happening on April 20th, 2026. You heard it, 4/20/2026 in Florida. If you are on food stamps, you will no longer be able to buy energy drinks, candy, sodas, and other fucking snacks on your EBT. So I just wanted to make that little PSA.
Bitch, I'm tired. Why? Because I work 2 jobs and I can't eat. I can't buy food. The government just took my food stamps. They said I make $2,000 a month. Girl, bye. No. Bitch, where did you hear that? Wrong. Because I'd like you to find the Gabby that makes that money and tell her to give me my check that she's been stealing from me. I want you to find the bitch with the same social security number as me and tell that bitch to stop stealing my information. Who the fuck robbed me? I sure as hell don't make that much money.
I lost my food stamp card. Y'all, I lost my food stamp card.
So I just checked my mail, and the food stamp place said that they cut my food stamp down to $24 now. I said, what the fuck? They must have got the wrong motherfucker, honey. Cause you got the right one. You got the right one, nigga. Fuck you and all that. Blast on Twitter and I'ma blast back. You whore ass shit and I'ma beat it. Don't make me call my boys and have your shit feel bad. Oh, you really gonna make me show you how I feel. You got the right one, nigga. I'll be at the aid office Monday morning at 9 o'clock sharp, motherfucker. Y'all got me fucked up. What is y'all talking about?
They have taken all the sweets off of SNAP benefits. Y'all, we are about to be passing out packs of chicken in exchange for Little Debbie snack cakes. I promise y'all it'll be worth it. I'm gonna get y'all the organic, grass-fed chicken.
Y'all, they just took my food stamps. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell y'all how frustrated I am. But more importantly, what am I gonna do? Now I told y'all something was a little iffy and that we have to get our ducks in a row, y'all. We have to get our ducks in a row because guess what? Now I gotta figure out myself, but that's cool. The whole thing is they're doing food stamp reductions. Now, did I think it was gonna be me? No, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I really didn't. But here we are. So for all y'all thinking that I just be BSing and this is not going on, this is going on. You can Google it. You can Google it. Google Trump administration food stamps and see what you don't read. But yeah, y'all, and get this. It was only $400 anyway. Like, how did I make the list of who to reduce? Talk about you don't meet the eligibility requirements anymore. That's crazy work.
This is my impression of a Trump voter who is on food stamps. Here it is. So I have 5 kids, and I voted for Trump because I agreed with everything he was saying. I thought we should cut the waste from the government. But I get $2,800 a month for food stamps for my children, and he just cut it back. All the cuts he made in the big beautiful bill cut my food stamps down to $350 a month. How am I supposed to feed 5 kids on $350 a month? I can't really work because I have 5 kids and my husband is gone. So I have to stay home and raise all these kids, and the government was giving me money. So when I voted for the government to cut all the waste, fraud, and abuse, I didn't know they meant me. Here's the paper that proves they cut my food stamps.
So y'all, I lost my food stamps, and I'm trying to tell y'all, that shit hurt. That shit hurt. I'm not playing. That shit hurt. So I lost my food stamps over 6 months ago, but I got put onto game, and I wish I would have did this before I had my food stamps. Like, this is what all the palm color folks be doing. Y'all better get on board. I'm about to tell y'all. So I started going to my local food banks, like, because I do need it. I need it for real. I started, getting into groups and stuff like that to figure out where they are. And I kid y'all not, let me tell y'all, at these food banks, it don't be a lot of us out there. It be a lot of who out there. And they be trying to fight over this food, but they give you real good food. Like, the ones I be going to, I'm like everything. I go to the store for like little knickknack stuff. I don't go to the store for all my big bulk stuff. I get my meat, my fresh vegetables, my fruit, my grain, all of that. I'm talking about my my non-perishable items. I get all of that. And I'm grateful. And if y'all want to see like how much stuff I be getting and what I be getting, like, comment, inbox me. If you around in my area, I'm in Georgia, let me know. I could probably help you.
He took away my food stamps. You get that? I can't buy groceries now because Trump decided I'm not poor enough on paper. So guess what? Now I have to go find a job.
What does that mean for you?
It means I have to clock in somewhere I don't want to be just so I can eat. I went to school to study art therapy. I volunteer. I vote.
Ain't no shame in my game, okay? None. We could talk about it. But see, a lot of people ain't gonna talk about certain things. They gonna be quiet. I ain't heard nobody yet talk about losing their food stamps for committing fraud. And I know a couple people who have. Okay? I know a couple people who have lost their benefits for committing fraud, for doing things that they ain't had no business doing with their food stamps. Like going to the liquor store, buying liquor, selling your food stamps. It's for food. And as I see so many people, oh well, the government they owe us, yeah, da, da, da. Okay, if that's how you feel, you can feel like that. But when you get to the 100% fact, is that food stamps are used for food. Period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Now, if you choose to use it for something else, just know that if there's some consequences that follow you, you're gonna pay for them. You're going to have to deal with them because that's not what it's for. I done been to stores that once was in business. Where'd the store go? Where'd they go? Oh, they got shut down because they was taking food stamps, selling liquor. They was they was letting people buy smoke products and stuff that was not food with their food stamps. Oh, and lost their license. Yeah. So
The last straw, man. I'm really upset about it.
Mom, what are you upset about? What are you upset
Go
about?
away.
What are you upset about?
Dude, life sucks right now. It's not the greatest. If they take away my Debbie snacks and my toaster strudels.
But how did they do that?
What do you mean?
How did they take away
The food stamp people.
food stamp people? Are you crying?
Yeah, I'm really upset about it, dude. It might be the last fucking straw for me, man.
Because of your Debbie cakes, snacks, and you can't buy them anymore with their food stamps.
And ice cream? What about ice cream?
You okay?
No.
Are you gonna be okay?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because that was the straw that broke the camel's back, I think.
I don't know if that's that saying.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay, Mom.
Stop
Give me a
always being
hug.
better.
Give me a hug.
We have matching bracelets. We have matching bracelets.
Shut down. I need to know what's going on. I got 9 kids to feed. 9 babies. And I want to know why they ain't put my food stuff on their car.
Do what?
I done been waiting. I done did my application. And I got 3 handicapped babies. I need to know why my food stamps ain't on my car. This is not right. This ain't fair. I don't care about no shutdown or none of that. But I've been calm. I've been calling. Everybody ignoring me. I done been here 3, 4, 5 times. I want to know why ain't my food stamps on my car. I got 9 babies to feed.
this girl been waiting all this time.
Ma'am, I done been calling. I done been down here, and this is I'm tired.
Sad.
I done been there and did all that. You still ain't put my food stamps on me. Just shut that. This is not fair. I'm tired. I done did all that. Now I need to know what the supervisor or somebody. I need somebody to help me. I got 9 kids to feed. 9 kids. 4 of them ain't mine. I'm taking care of other people's kids. I'm old. I'm tired. I got arthritis. I'm tired of coming back and forth down here about my food stamp. I done had a woman now. They told me my car money supposed to be on my car. It ain't on there yet. Y'all gotta fix this now. I don't have nothing to do with that shutdown. I'm stressed out. I'm a single mama and I'm helping other people kids. Now I need my stamps now. I ain't gonna keep going through this. I'm already going through a lot of things. I came down here. This is my 5th time coming down. I had an interview and all. Now this ain't fair how y'all doing. This ain't fair. I done been all right there. Y'all done did my interview and all that. I still ain't got my stamps. Still ain't got my stamp. Y'all done let them people shut down the government. Now they ain't gonna give me my stamp. It's so sad. And I don't want to go to jail. Because that's where I'm going next when it comes to these babies. Now I got to go steal and shit. Now I got to go steal food to put in my house. Y'all ain't got no box of food here? Y'all ain't got no food to give me? Y'all don't have nothing to give me? Don't be recording me, man. Don't be
Why
recording
is people
me.
place like that?
Don't record me.
You know, I would say about a quarter of Americans would not be able to survive if they did not get help from the government, which is crazy if you think about it. The government literally wants you to have to rely on them. My homeboy said they put out signs in every park saying don't feed the animals because they will become adapted and rely on you feeding them. Same thing goes for us. And I believe that they want you to rely on them. Just think about it. If they were to just take food stamps out, just food stamps, there would be riots and chaos in the streets because people don't know how to rely on themselves. And it's part their fault and part the government's fault because the government should never step in and just give shit to people that aren't willing to do a fucking thing for themselves.
If you had to guess what ethnicity receives the most SNAP benefits, what would be your guess? Say it in the comments. Muslims. They have their religion allows them to have multiple wives and multiple kids per wife. And the man can't work because he's got so many wives and so many kids. And there's no way, unless the government pays for it, for that man to support all them wives and all them kids. So the majority of them get SNAP benefits. Yeah, that's where the majority of SNAP benefits goes. It's not other ethnicities. The percentages of every other ethnicity are nowhere near the percentages for the Muslim community. Way up there. That was a light bulb moment, right? The light bulb moment goes off because how many of them are documented? I'm just saying, how many of them are documented?
Last year's Republican centerpiece budget law is projected to cut $186 billion in federal spending on SNAP over the next decade. But it's not only about funding cuts. The new law changed eligibility criteria, like raising the age limit for work requirements from 54 to 64 and increasing the amount of documentation required to enroll. Since then, every state has seen a decline in people enrolled in SNAP, led by Arizona, where participation has fallen by 51%, according to some estimates. And those who are still eligible are receiving much lower benefits and often facing longer reauthorization times. Here's what 27-year-old Presley Nassis told us about the experience. He's a SNAP recipient, has a chronic illness, and works 2 jobs.
I went from having a little over $200 a month for groceries from SNAP funds to having absolutely nothing for 3 months. I lost weight. I ate less. I had 1.5 meals a day instead of 2 or 3. I pinched pennies. I saved food from the jobs I work at where they have free snacks. I took things home. And then when I was recertified, they renewed me for a significantly lower amount. So I now get $50 a month.
So for more on the state of food assistance in America, we are joined now by Sarah Naomi Bleish. She's a professor of public health policy at Harvard and previously worked at the USDA during the Biden and Obama administrations. Thank you so much for being here. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins and others in the Trump administration have been celebrating this decline in SNAP benefits, arguing that it's happening because the economy is better, they argue, that wages are getting better, and that they're rooting out fraud. How accurate is that?
So I would say that that's not accurate, and thank you very much for having me. So there are 3 main reasons why SNAP caseloads would decline. One is that the economy improves, since SNAP is designed to get smaller when the economy gets better. But the economy has not measurably improved since H.R. 1 passed in July of 2025. And we can all probably agree that affordability, including high costs of food, remain an enormous challenge for families in this country. Another reason SNAP caseloads could decline is that the rules change. And as a result, eligibility is constricted. That has happened. There are stricter time limits, meaning that folks have to prove they are working 20 hours a week or 80 hours a month to receive benefits. And the number of people subject to those time limits has gone up a lot. And that greatly increases the paperwork burden, since each month individuals have to document their hours and then the state has to certify it. And the third reason that SNAP caseloads could decline is that states take actions which contract eligibility. So states face an enormous fiscal penalty if they don't get their payment error rates under control. So that refers to how much a person is under or overpaid for their monthly SNAP benefits. As a result, some states like Arizona are being overzealous in their implementation of the rules, making it much harder for eligible people to obtain or maintain benefits. And at the same time, most states, including Arizona, are understaffed. So they lack the capacity to process all this paperwork. And so when a person is applying for the first time or recertifying or confirming their hours worked to comply with the time limit, there's a 30-day deadline. Even if an eligible person submits all the required information on time, if the state does not process it by the deadline, that person is automatically removed and has to start the process all over again.
I see. What about the argument about fraud that they make, that this is the declining numbers are because people who should not be on the system are out of the system?
So fraud is actually very low in the SNAP program. It's about 1.6%, which is actually low relative to other federal safety net programs. And the new rules actually don't target fraud at all. They're targeting payment error rates, which is, again, referring to how much someone is over or underpaid for their SNAP benefits. And so these changes will have no impact on fraud rates, which are very low already in the SNAP program.
There are other people who argue that this decline is also a sign of just a return to normalcy post-pandemic, that the pandemic caused all of this incredible need in the country. SNAP responded, but now we are moving back to a more normal period of life. We talked to Jack Salmon. He's at the conservative Mercatus Center. Here's how he described this.
The SNAP program it tends to be pretty cyclical. So what that means is during economic crises like we saw in 2008, 2009, when the unemployment rate goes up, we see that program participation also goes up with that as families struggle more during times of economic strain. What then happens after the crisis, as the unemployment rate comes down and the sort of business cycle improves, we then see the SNAP numbers come down as well. But following the COVID pandemic, it remained elevated for quite a few years, really through the end of 2024. And I think now we're seeing somewhat of a sharper return to normalcy.
What do you make of that? Return to normalcy?
So this is not a return to normalcy, because it is true that SNAP caseloads are going down, but they're decreasing for the wrong reasons. They're not decreasing because all of a sudden we have a much stronger economy. They're decreasing because what we're seeing is that eligible people are leaving the program because it's become too difficult to document and to maintain their eligibility. And that is deeply concerning.